Roman Catholic Church, Pope Francis marked 1,000 days since Russia's invasion of Ukraine on Wednesday, calling it a shameful disaster for humanity. And at an audience attended by First Lady of Ukraine, Olena Zelenska, yesterday marked 1,000 days since the invasion of Ukraine, a tragic anniversary for the victims and the destruction it has caused, the Argentine Pope said at the end of his weekly general audience at the Vatican City. Here, the Pope of the Roman Catholic Church is not happy over what is going on in between Russia and Ukraine. I believe that religious body and others body has been speaking of what is going on so that the war between Ukraine and Russia should stop. Now, the leader of the Roman Catholic Church, Pope Francis, has said that since the invasion of Russians to Ukraine, it has marked 100 days. And there are many people that has been maimed from the attack of Russia to Ukraine. And he has called that this war should come to an end because the disasters of the war has brought shame to all mankind. He was saying this on Wednesday. Why he was standing speaking to the people in the audience. And at the same time, the First Lady of Ukraine, Olena Zelenska, was there. Yesterday marked 1,000 days since the invasion of Ukraine, a tragic anniversary for the victims and the destruction it has caused. The Argentine Pope said that the end of his weekly general audience at the Vatican. But at the same time, it is a shameful disaster for humanity. He added in front of the thousands of faithful gathered in St. Peter's Square, where Zelenska sat with the first ladies of Armenia, Lithuania, and Serbia. Pope Francis said this at the church where thousands of people gather, that this war that is going on between Ukraine and the Russians should come to a stop because it has succeeded in destroying many people and properties. And at the time that the Pope was saying this, as we said before, Zelenska sat with the first ladies of Armenia, Lithuania, and Serbia when Pope was saying this. Now, what we are saying is that to continue to wage war against one another is not the best because it will end up destroying lives and property. And Pope Francis so concerned that the Russians and the Ukraine should state at meetings and bring the war to an end because there is no society or organization that will engage in war will experience meaningful development. Instead, what we see is shame and disaster, as the Pope has remarked. Russia launched its full-scale attack on Ukraine in February 2022, and since then, the Pope has frequently called for an end to the conflict. The Pope on Wednesday expressed his closeness to the martyred Ukrainian people and called for effort so that weapons give way to dialogue. Francis then read a letter addressed to him by a Ukrainian student in which he describes the war and how people are suffering. Here, the Pope Francis was so concerned, and he make reference to something that has happened before, that the Russians lost its full attack on Ukraine since 2022, and then the Pope frequently called called that let the war come to an end, because war does not bring any good thing to any society, but rather it will cause destruction. And Pope Francis lamented when he said that a student from Ukraine sent him a letter, and when he read the letter, what the student was saying is that the people of Ukraine are suffering owing to the war that is going on. That let the war call to an end so that peace will reign between Russia and the Ukraine. My people, thanks for listening.